Our first update comes from Sydney, where 2 more men have been charged in connection with the alleged murder of Finks Sergeant-at-Arms Jamie Goodworth. Goodworth, 32, was shot twice through the door of an Edensor Park home on February 24, 2024. He had been trying to break in with a group when someone inside opened fire, hitting him. He was reportedly there to steal up to $250,000 from a man linked to the Assyrian Kings gang. After the shooting, he was dumped outside Liverpool Hospital, where he later died during emergency surgery. Strike Force High was established to investigate the case, leading to an initial charge in October. Following further inquiries, detectives, assisted by the South West Metropolitan Operational Support Group, executed search warrants early on Tuesday, the 1st of April 2025. At 6:35 a.m., officers raided a property in Hinchinbrook, arresting a 24-year-old man and seizing a mobile phone and a Hyundai load for forensic examination. Just minutes later, at 6:40 a.m., another raid was carried out in Middleton Grange, where a second 24-year-old man was arrested. Police also seized mobile phones, a Toyota Hilux, and a small amount of cannabis from the property. Both men were taken to Cabramatta Police Station and charged with accessory after the fact to murder. They were refused bail and are set to appear in Fairfield local court. As part of the ongoing investigation, police have released CCTV footage of a silver Toyota Camry and a Toyota Hiace, seen in the area that night, urging anyone with information to come forward. Our next update is from Baldivis, where Hafez Kanjou, 26, has been charged over his alleged role in trafficking illicit tobacco products from the eastern states and selling them in Perth. The profits were then funneled back to an organized crime group. Under Operation Snug, AFP officers raided Kanjou's home, a courier company, and storage facilities, where they seized $900,000 in cash, hidden inside microwaves to avoid detection, along with 645,000 cigarettes, 19,000 vapes, and 200 pouches of loose-leaf tobacco. The cash was set for shipment to Melbourne. Kanjou faces charges related to dealing with the proceeds of crime and possession of excisable tobacco. He was granted conditional bail and a $50,000 personal undertaking in the Perth Magistrates Court and is due to reappear on May 9. Our next update is from Sydney's southeast, where Raptor Squad have arrested 3 men following an investigation into the ongoing supply of firearms and illicit drugs. Strike Force Herd was established in January 2025 by State Crime Command's Raptor Squad South, to investigate the manufacture and supply of privately manufactured firearms and illicit drugs within the Illawarra region. About 12:30 p.m. on Monday, March 31, 2025, Strike Force detectives, with assistance from the Tactical Operations Unit, Police Dog Squad, and Paul Air, arrested a 45-year-old man in Shell Harbour. On the man, police located 2 private manufactured machine guns, ammunition, balaclavas and cable ties. During a search of the man's property, police located a further 4 loaded revolver firearms, 3 ballistic vests, a 3D printer, an extensive amount of firearm parts including slides, barrels, triggers, magazines, paperwork, electronic devices, mobile phones, and thousands of rounds of various ammunition. Various firearms manufacture stations were also identified in the premises. The man was taken to Lake Illawarra Police Station, where he was charged with 20 charges total, including knowingly direct criminal group assist crime, and 19 other charges relating to the supply, manufacture and possession of illegal firearms and ammunition. He was refused bail to appear in Wollongong local court. It remains uncertain whether these firearms were supplied to organized crime groups or outlaw bikies. Following this, Strike Force detectives also executed a search warrant in Farnborough Heights where they arrested a 16-year-old teenage boy, who was taken to Illawarra Police Station, where he was charged with 16 offences including participate criminal group, contribute criminal and other charges relating to the supply and manufacture of firearms. He was refused bail to appear at a children's court. Illegal firearm manufacturing has evolved into a high-tech underworld, with criminals using 3D printers, conversion kits, and underground workshops to produce untraceable ghost guns. Some modify replica guns or assemble weapons from smuggled parts, while others run secret gun libraries where firearms are rented for crimes. The rise of digital blueprints on the dark web has fueled this trade, making it harder for law enforcement to track and dismantle these deadly operations. Investigations under strike force herd continue. Our next update is about a covert police sting, which has exposed a high-level RIP crew operation, with ties to international drug syndicates and 2 Melbourne brothers now facing serious criminal charges. RIP crew or rip-off crew is a slang term used in the criminal underworld, especially in drug circles, to describe a group of criminals who are hired to steal drugs, cash, or weapons from other criminals. This RIP crew was caught trying to raid a shipping container at the port of Melbourne, aiming to extract 80 kilograms of imported cocaine. Authorities say the operation began in March 2025, when the Australian Federal Police learned that this crew was planning a hit on a container packed with industrial machinery. Hidden inside were cocaine bricks and 2 GPS trackers, a classic move for traffickers to locate and retrieve illicit goods. The AFP, working with Border Force, removed the drugs and replaced them with dummy packages before allowing the container to sit under surveillance. Just one day later, 2 men in balaclavas cut their way into the secure port area and took off with the stash. On April 2, 2025, police launched raids across Melbourne suburbs including Seabrook, Sunshine, Dallas, and West Melbourne, arresting 2 brothers believed to be behind the crew. The 38-year-old Seabrook man was remanded in custody and charged with several serious offences, including attempting to possess a commercial quantity of drugs, firearms possession, and dealing in proceeds of crime. He faces up to life imprisonment. His younger brother, 32, from Sunshine, was charged with drug possession and released on bail. Searches uncovered a high-powered rifle, pistols, ammunition, drug gear, cash, jewelry, and blocks of the swapped cocaine. Detective Superintendent Simone Butcher said the bus laid bare how syndicates use RIP crews as part of the criminal supply chain. This is the dark underworld at work, criminals robbing criminals, fueling drug violence and putting communities at risk, she said. With an estimated street value of $32 million, the cocaine could have been divided into 40,000 street deals. Authorities say investigations are still ongoing, with more arrests possible as they continue to unravel the RIP crews network. Our next update is from Brisbane, where a doctor by the name of John Robert Ullman, 57, has been jailed for trafficking large quantities of prescription drugs, including benzodiazepines and steroids, to Comanchero bikies and even to undercover police officers. Over nearly 3 years, Ullman sold drugs on 76 occasions to 31 people through his Chermside clinic, sometimes in quantities so large they required garbage bags to pack them up. He used his medical clinic as a front, earning over $1.5 million revenue from his consultation fee and drug markups, and was found to be the largest purchaser of certain drugs from legitimate wholesalers. One customer was once caught leaving with 2,500 Valium tablets from his clinic. Ullman became the largest purchaser of Valium from a pharmaceutical wholesaler, accounting for 26% of their sales. A raid on his home uncovered unsigned prescriptions, tick sheets, and $330,000 in cash. Over nearly 3 years, investigators discovered Ullman had amassed $1.5 million in unexplained income. His lawyer claimed that Ullman was naive and not sophisticated in his offending, and on one occasion, a Comanchero bikie placed a handgun on doctor's desk mid-conversation, a clear act of intimidation meant to instill fear. The lawyer used this incident to argue that Ullman had naively become involved with dangerous individuals, ultimately finding himself trapped in a situation he couldn't easily escape. However, the court wasn't convinced, and the judge found he had seriously breached public trust as a doctor. He was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, with parole eligibility from July 5, 2028. Our next update features 3 members of the Finks bikies from Victoria, who have again found themselves on the wrong side of the law. Stan Zanyakas, 30, has been sentenced in the County Court of Victoria to 3 years in prison, with a non-parole period of 2 years, for his role in a violent robbery and a firebombing spree. In September 2023, Zanyakas lured a man to a Templestowe reserve through a fake Facebook marketplace ad for a Toyota Camry. When the victim showed up with $13,500 in cash, an accomplice pulled a knife and robbed him. Just months later, on Christmas Day, Zanyakas teamed up with fellow Finks bikie Ben Valerio, 37, for a series of arson attacks in Croydon. Valerio carried out the firebombings of a store and a tobacco shop while Zanyakas acted as the lookout. Text messages intercepted by the Australian Federal Police directly linked Zanyakas to the attacks. He was also ordered to pay $4,500 in compensation and could be released as early as January 2026, after serving 444 days in custody. Ben Valerio faced court over 4 arson charges, admitting he was heavily using ice at the time and had been offered money to commit the crimes. He received a minimum sentence of 4 years and 4 months. The third bikie, Murat Shamsh 42, from Werribee, also pleaded guilty in October 2024 to 2 arson charges and 1 count of offending while on bail. While not directly involved in setting fires, the court heard Shamsh instigated the attacks by maintaining frequent contact with Stan Zanyakas via text. The attacks occurred over Christmas 2023 and targeted businesses in Altona, Altona North, Croydon, and Sunshine, with one Altona store hit twice. Shamsh blamed his actions on drug abuse and the trauma of witnessing his twin brother's death in Kosovo when he was 12. His lawyer said he suffers from PTSD, has a long history of substance abuse, and his marriage failed due to his addictions. However, the prosecution challenged the timing and credibility of his explanation. All 3 Finks members are now behind bars, their crimes adding to a growing list of gang-related violence across Victoria. If you're looking for more thrilling and edgy bikie updates, don't hesitate, whack that subscribe button, spread and share the video, hit that like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And for the true grid Spartans out there, consider sending a super thanks or buy us a coffee to show some love. Your support keeps us going and the channel thriving, especially since most of our videos aren't monetized due to all the crime-related content. Stay tuned, stay curious, stay awesome, and take care. Wu-Tang.